For millions of creators out there, Amazon isn't just a marketplace, it's the entire stadium. It holds the promise of a massive gold rush, an ocean of customers, and success that's driven by cold, hard data. But here's the question. Is it a stable foundation you can build a business on? Or is it actually a trap just waiting to spring? Today, we are going to unpack that. So, just to get a sense of the scale we are dealing with, let's start with this number. In 2025, Amazon's global advertising revenue hit an absolutely staggering $56.2 billion. Yeah, billion with a B. This isn't just some side hustle for them. It's a massive gravitational force in the world of e-commerce. And what's really fascinating here is where that number puts them on the map. I mean, sure, Google and Meta are still the giants leading the pack, but Amazon has absolutely carved out its spot as the third largest digital ad platform on the entire planet. If you sell anything online, this ecosystem is pretty much impossible to ignore. And you know who's noticed? A ton of people. That powerful ecosystem has attracted a mind-boggling 9.7 million sellers from all over the world. We're talking authors, entrepreneurs, you name it, all staking their futures on this one single platform, fighting for their slice of the pie. Which brings us right to the heart of it, doesn't it? For those millions of sellers, is building your business on Amazon a reliable ladder you can climb to success? Or is it more like walking a tightrope, way up high, with absolutely no safety net? All right, first, let's talk about the promise, the gold rush part of the equation. If you want to win on Amazon, you have to understand it's a game, and it's a game driven by data. If you can learn the metrics, you can master the system. Okay, first up is click-through rate, or CTR. It's pretty simple. Of all the people who see your product ad, what percentage actually clicks on it? The benchmark is a tiny 0.34%. That means every single click is incredibly hard-won, and this is your first big test. Is your product even interesting enough to get that first glance? Next up, cost per click, or CPC. Of course, every single one of those precious clicks has a price tag, and that price is going up. The average hit $1.12 in 2025, which is a jump of over 15%. This means you have to be more efficient than ever, because every wasted click is just draining your budget. Now, this is where Amazon's magic really kicks in. Conversion rate. Almost 10% of clicks on Amazon ads turn into a sale. That is 7 to 8 times higher than other platforms. And why is that? Well, it's because people don't go to Amazon to just browse around. They go there to buy stuff. So you've got clicks, you've got sales, but are you actually making any money? That's the all-important question, and that's where ACoS comes in. It's the ultimate profitability metric. It asks, for every dollar you make from your ads, how many cents did you have to spend to get it? Right now, the average is around 30 cents on the dollar. But here's the thing, a good ACoS isn't some magic number. As you can see here, it totally depends on your strategy. If you're launching a brand new product, you might be totally fine spending 50% of your revenue on ads just to get your name out there. But if you're an established brand, you're probably aiming for a much leaner 25%. You can probably imagine, trying to manage all of these numbers in real time is, well, it's a huge headache. And that's exactly why the top sellers are turning to AI to stay competitive. The results really speak for themselves. Folks using these tools are seeing a 25 to 40% better return on their ad spend. But this is where our story takes a turn, moving from the ladder to the tightrope. Because on Amazon, AI isn't just your most powerful ally, it can also be your most feared opponent. Think of it like this. There are two AIs working on Amazon. On one hand, you have the helpful advertising AI, the one that's optimizing your campaigns and saving you time. But on the other hand, you've got the enforcement AI. This thing is a total black box. It flags accounts, makes decisions you can't see, and can shut down your entire business with little warning or explanation. So, if you do everything right, you master the data, you use the tools, you play the game by the numbers, you're golden, right? Success is a given? Well, let's look at a story that paints a very, very different picture. To really understand the risk, let's zoom in on the story of an author named Joanna Maitland. Her experience perfectly illustrates the danger of building your house on land you don't actually own. It all went down in one absolutely surreal week. She simply re-uploaded books she'd published before, and suddenly they were blocked. A few days later, she gets an email accusing her of impersonation, and 3 days after that, boom, her entire account was terminated. Her income just gone. It took a super stressful, document-heavy appeal just to get it back. So, what was this terrible crime? Who was she supposedly impersonating? This is the part that is just unbelievable. Because of a previous account deletion, one that Amazon itself had told her to do, the system flagged her for being too similar to herself. Joanna's own words just capture the pure frustration of it all. It was like she was arguing with a robot that was programmed to believe she was a fraud, with absolutely no room for context or nuance or basic common sense. And here's the thing, she is not alone, not by a long shot. The creator community is filled with these cautionary tales. They've learned the unspoken rules the hard way. For example, fair use, that's a legal defense for a courtroom. On Amazon, their rules are the only ones that matter. An algorithm flags you, and a human, often with very little context, makes a final decision that you usually can't appeal. And this really brings us to the dueling realities of the platform. For every Reddit user out there making $90,000 a year, there's another one who, after years of trying, is making less than $100. The gap between the gold rush and the trap is just immense. So how do you navigate this? How do you climb that ladder while also respecting the fact that you're on a tightrope? The key seems to be a two-pronged approach. One strategy for success and another one for survival. First, you absolutely have to master the tools. You have to play the data game, invest in AI, and optimize all those metrics to win inside Amazon's system. But, and this is the crucial part, at the exact same time, you have to build resilience. Document everything, your contracts, your rights, every single email. And finally, diversify. Use other platforms so that if that Amazon algorithm ever turns on you, you haven't lost your entire business overnight. And that really leaves us with one final critical question to think about. When platforms become this powerful, are the millions of creators building businesses on them truly partners in a shared success? Or are they, in the end, just another product in the